Hi, Mr. Devlin here. So I wanted to talk about community managers and why gaming companies feel that they need to have community managers. Do you know what? I've had good experiences with community managers and I've had really bad experiences with community managers, which got me to thinking, what is the sole reason and what is their job, their position as a community manager for a gaming company? So I've gone on the internet, I've done a bit of research because what's out there might be different to what I think a community manager should be. And what I'll do is initially I will explain to you what my thoughts on what a community manager should be doing, what they should be like, and what does their job entail. Okay, so for me, as basic can be, here's what I think a community manager should be like or what they should be doing. Okay, so the first thing that springs to mind for me is a community manager is there to look after the community, regardless what game it is, what genre it is, they're there to look after the community. As in the title itself, community manager, manage their community. Community manager for me should be there to update said community for whatever game it is about the progress of a game, updates, further DLC. They are there to keep the community informed. Whether they have to give good or bad news, they are there, they are the front spokesperson for the company, so they are there to, like I say, give good or bad news to the community. They should be managing all social media, regardless what it is, Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, Instagram, whatever social media that you follow. The community manager should be on there, keeping everyone informed and interacting with the community itself. And if they can't do it personally, they should have a team of at least 1-2 people that can take over in their absence. Therefore, not leaving the community, not knowing what's going on. And any information or announcements that a gaming company needs to make to the community should be done through the community manager. And lastly, for me, a community manager should have excellent customer service skills. Also, they really should have thick skin because there's a lot of good and bad things that can happen with the development of a game or the progression of a game. So they've got to take the good with the bad. And lastly, I'm going to say, in my personal opinion, that a community manager should use their position to keep everyone involved about the game itself, interact with the community, and not make it all about them. It's not about you, it's about your community. Okay, so I've give basically what I think I would like to see or what I think a community manager should be. Let's go on the internet and see what the job description is actually is according to the internet and jobs boards itself. Okay, so the most concise website that I found was from one of the biggest employment recruitment agencies, and that's Reed. So let's see what they say is the best attributes for a community manager in gaming. So I made sure it was for gaming and not just a community manager for a retail store. Okay, so the first thing they say that the community manager should manage all platforms, including forums, social media, and any other social media sites. They should manage and administer the variety of player communities as well as influencers and partners. They should act as a brand evangelist, maintaining a deep understanding of the game content and publishing activities in order to promote them to our players' communities. And the next one's a very important one to me. They should monitor and report on community sentiment and engagement, liaising with outsourced community management and feeding back to the studio-wide team. They should act as the champion of the player, representing and communicating for the studio for our players and for the players to the studio. Although I've not give everything they've said on the website, it's basically the way I've been reading that is that the community manager should be there for the player base, for the community, and if the community are not happy, they should go back to the studio and have the balls to turn around and say the community's not happy. We should give them this. We should give them that. We should communicate this back to the community. We should communicate that back to the community. What you shouldn't do is sit there and say nothing at all, because that makes you irrelevant, worthless, and no good to be a community manager. You're there for the community, for the players. You're not there for you. You're actually there for your company to understand how the player base is feeling, and you're supposed to communicate that back to the developers and the publishers so they can rectify things that are not right with the community, things that they're not happy with. You go radio silent and you shouldn't be in that job. You ignore your community and make it all about you. You shouldn't be in that job. You don't have the balls as a community manager to go to your company and say, look, the community's not happy with this. We need to give them something, or we need to tell them something. You shouldn't be in that job. You are there for the community, not for your own self-gratification and to lie to a community. A community manager should be there primarily, number one, for the community. Like I said right at the beginning of the video, I've had experiences that are good and bad with community managers over the years. It'd be interesting to know if you've had any good or bad experiences with community managers. You can put it down in the comments below. It'd be an interesting read, not just for myself, but I think everyone else. Anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe, press that bell icon and tick it so you get notifications of when we're uploading new videos. In this is Mr. Devlin. Out.